everybody, how's it going? Sorry, I forgot to update. I forgot to post about the Uncle Roger video. What I'll try and do is, uh, I literally just forgot to prepare for it. So I'm going to try and work on that for next week. Sorry about that. I'm recording out on my balcony right now from my apartment. It's getting warmer here in Sapporo. I'm not speaking too loudly because I think they're neighbors outside, and this is not really, balconies are not really a place in Japan for people to be talking, spending time, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of, I feel kind of weird. Like you take a look at all these places with no, there's never any people. There's never anybody out in their balconies. Like people just don't hang out here. But things are getting better. For me personally, for Japan, no, not so much. Gas prices are going up. Nothing seems to be getting fixed. Foreigner renewal prices, the cost of foreigner renewals has gone up. That kind of stuff. Um, you know, things are just like you take the good and the bad, that kind of stuff. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get much to do. I completely forgot to prepare for the first half of the video. My apologies about that. Um, so there's like a 7-Eleven out there. Nearby 7-Eleven. But yeah, sorry about that. One of the things that there's a strong smell of gas around here somewhere. But yeah, it's getting a little bit warmer. Still kind of cold. I think it's about like 5 to 7 degrees right now. But so it's good weather, good Canadian weather. Sorry, I just completely forgot to prepare for this video. My bad. One of the comments left behind was by Wubik. Thank you for the comment about asking me what do I want to do for the future of the channel. And honestly, I just wanted to make more interesting content. I'm not focused too much about chasing views and that kind of stuff. I know like a couple of years ago, I used to be like really into that, like trying to like chase views, making content that I want to make, and like why the views are not coming in. And you know, I've kind of moved past that. I kind of want to focus on just like making stuff I like, that kind of thing, and keeping all the people who have been supporting me updated about all that kind of stuff. That's my goal. That's really the only thing I care about, because at the end of the day, I think this is like primarily like a hobby, and the role of stuff like Patreon and ad revenue and all that kind of stuff is just to make sure that like I don't actually lose money while I'm doing this. That's my plan. I just don't want to lose money making content. I don't care about like making money, or I don't care about turning a profit. I just care about not losing money. So that's, I think, my goal. And so that's why these projects are taking a little bit longer, because I have like all these plans and these ideas and whatnot, and I want to like execute them. But executing them takes a long time because I'm working a full-time job. I've got other like non-channel related obligations, like social obligations and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes you just like come home and you're tired and all that kind of stuff, and so it can get really difficult. And yeah, but no, I'm not giving up. I haven't given up. It's gonna be a long time before I give up making content. I just feel bad that it's taking so long to make stuff. But I think part of it is also that like I don't know or effectively know how to gauge like a decent quality, because like whenever I try and make stuff, I always think, oh, okay, I can make this stuff kind of better, I can make this stuff better, I can make that better. And so like I'm always trying to like rework or retool something, and then until to the point where I'm satisfied. And then the weird thing here is that like after I publish it and then I like watch it over like a couple like weeks later to a couple months later, I'm always like, oh, this could have been so much better. This could have been so much better. I could have done this thing so much better, that kind of stuff. And I know people say like the enemy of perfect is the enemy of good. You got to kill your darlings, just get your stuff out there and all that kind of stuff. But it is like really hard to kind of do that. I feel it's really, really hard to kind of do that. But I wanna keep working on that. I want to keep working on it. I want to keep making stuff. I do have short. I think one of the questions asked me about like any short videos. I do have a short video planned. I'm working on the script for it right now. Writing is kind of really on and off. I really should just sit down one day and just like try and bang it out as well as I can, because it is actually work. A little bit is from like the PhD thesis. It's not in my thesis, but it is part of the thesis, or at least part of the thing that I really wanted to focus on with my thesis that I never really talked about. And so it's workable. I just gotta figure out how to structure it. And another one is I gotta think about how I'm going to set up the recording space. Well, yeah, wind's getting strong. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'm going to try and do the first half of the Uncle Roger critique video next week. Really sorry about that, but this is an update. I promised a weekly update, so I'm doing it. That's where I'm at so far. Peace.